Sephora VIB sale time, the most magical time of the year where you get either 10, 15, or 20% off your Sephora purchases. The sale details will be in the description box below. These are the videos I live for, you guys, because I love makeup and I love shopping. So we're combining like two of my favorite things today. Let's jump right in. The first product is one that I am just like, I'm so excited that they have it at Sephora because this product was kind of out of rotation for a while. They were reformulating it, and so it was like impossible to find. It is the Armani Fluid Sheer Glow Enhancer. This is in shade 2. I am obsessed. Like I said, I had a little trial sample size that I fell in love with a couple months ago, and then I could not find this anywhere. And it broke my heart. It is so beautiful. It's like liquid pearl, honestly. Like that's the best way that I could describe it. This shade is so perfect for me. It works when I have a self-tan. It works when I don't have a self-tan. I like to put a little bit on like the high points of my cheeks as well as the center of my face to just give some pearl glow. And I do that before I put on my foundation. It's amazing. It's so beautiful, so pearlescent. I absolutely love this stuff. And a tiny, tiny bit goes a long way. I had like a tiny trial size and it lasted me 6 weeks using it almost every time I did my makeup. So I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this, and I highly, highly recommend it if you're looking for something to just give a nice, beautiful glow under your makeup. I know I'm always looking for something that gives a very natural lit from within glow. This is a winner. Now, before we talk about foundation, since I did just mention that the Fluid Sheer works for me whether I am self-tanned or not, I do want to talk about self-tanner. I don't think that I've ever recommended my self-tanner. If you've noticed, I am about 2 shades darker, 2 to 3 shades darker than I have been in my last couple videos. I've been skipping self-tan for a few weeks, but the weather's warming up and I just, I need to go from translucent to, a darker shade of pale, as my dad would call it. So I've been using my favorite bronzing mousse, the Saint-Tropez Self-Tan Classic Bronzing Mousse. This is the best of the best. I highly recommend picking this up if you are like me and you're very pale and you like to sometimes self-tan. I have been faux tanning for 20 years. That realization just dawned on me. Yes, 20 years. Since I was 11, I will turn 31 this year, 20 years of self-tanning. So I have seen faux tanning in so many different iterations. I mean, back when I first started, it was a very orange situation. So I know what a bad self-tanner is and what a good self-tanner is. And this is the best of the best. It is so easy to work with. It's a mousse. I love that. It makes it really easy to control. It's an extremely user-friendly formula. It does not streak. It does not turn you orange. It's a very neutral tan. It doesn't look too olive. It doesn't look too orange. I find that self-tan can generally go one of those two ways. This one is pretty much straight down the middle, a really great neutral wash of color. It looks very natural. I don't look unnatural at all. And trust me, there have been times that I have looked very unnatural with other self-tanners. So I know what I'm talking about here. My next recommendation is foundation, and oh my gosh, I'm in love with this foundation. It is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. When I am self-tanned, I use the shade 160. That's what I'm wearing today. Shell is the name of that shade. I'm in love with several things about this foundation. The first being, I love the twist pump. You like twist to open it and twist to lock the pump. I really like that. I find that to be extremely convenient, that I'm not having to worry about a lid that I can take off and lose. And then obviously I love the formula. It's a wonderful skin finish. It's medium coverage. I find you can build it up. I don't like to build up my foundation too much. I like to still see skin. I can still see freckles. I still see my natural skin texture there. It's not something that looks too heavy, and it feels so light on the skin. It's super lightweight. It reminds me a little bit of just the way it feels, and the way it applies reminds me a little bit of my Armani Luminous Silk. So if you like that foundation, I think you would love this foundation. But the key difference, I would say, is that this one is not as dewy. It's radiant, but it's more of a natural skin finish. Still radiant, but again, more what you would expect just natural hydrated skin to look like. I love it. I think it's wonderful, and I just keep reaching for this time and time again. I don't really want to reach for anything else right now because I just love the way this looks, and I find that it wears really well throughout the day. It's just fantastic. The next recommendation is from a line that is new to Sephora, and I am so glad that it's at Sephora now because I think that just makes it a lot more accessible for people to get. This is from Westman Atelier. This is their Face Trace Contour Stick in the shade Biscuit. This is my go-to contour. It is fantastic. It's a cream contour. It comes in a stick. And it is so emollient, so creamy. It goes on so lovely, blends out beautifully, and it's just the perfect shade for a natural contour. It looks so natural on my skin. I feel like it looks just like a natural shadow. It helps enhance my natural bone structure. It's beautiful. If you're around my skin tone, you will love this. This is again a product that works whether I'm self-tanned or whether I'm not. You can apply this directly onto the skin from the stick and then blend it out with a brush or a sponge. I like to use a brush, or you can pick some up on a brush and apply it. So today I put it directly under my cheekbones. Just a tiny bit is all you need. A little bit goes a long way with this. And it's a very buildable, natural product. Most of the products I really like are great for natural makeup. And when I say natural makeup, I just mean I'm the kind of person I really like to see natural skin. I like to look like myself. I don't want to look like a full coverage look. I really want to just look extra polished. I want to look like myself, but just look like I'm a very polished, naturally radiant, beautiful kind of gal. And this product I love for this because it really does just mimic a natural shadow so well. It's just a fantastic product. I've tried a lot from Westman Atelier. I will say this is my favorite product from that line. By far. Let's talk about my current favorite concealer. Dead serious. This is my current favorite concealer. It has completely replaced the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer as my holy grail. This concealer, highly recommend. It is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Concealer. I have the shade 101 Fair, which does work self-tanned or not, actually, for me, because I only use concealer under my eyes. Sometimes I use it on the center of my face. I don't use concealer to spot conceal, really. I'm just lucky that I don't generally have to spot conceal. Thank you to God in my skincare routine. I'm gonna keep it up with the SPF, and we're gonna cross our fingers that things stay that way. This concealer is so fantastic if you have dry under eyes. My under eyes are the driest part of my skin. There are times that they just feel like it's just like a sunken desert under there. Like there's like little tumbleweeds blowing around. Like it gets that bad sometimes. This is a very kind of like I wouldn't say it's hydrating, but it's like a very hydrated concealer. I of course always put under eye cream on under my eyes, but this to me, it has this special capability apparently where it refreshes itself. I don't know how it does this, but it truly does do this. I put a little bit under the eye, it brightens everything up under there. It doesn't settle into my little baby eye creases because I have deeper set eyes. It doesn't really settle into that. It doesn't exaggerate it, doesn't exaggerate any of my little baby smile lines. It just does its job so well. And if at any point during the day I feel a little bit dry under there, I can just pat it out and it refreshes itself. It literally does self-refresh. I don't know what this magic is that they've put in here, but it is a fantastic, fantastic concealer. And most of all, it never makes my under eyes look dry. And there are so many concealers that I can wear them during, maybe the summer when I'm super hydrated, but then anytime that I'm feeling a little extra dry or maybe my skin's a little dehydrated, I will just see them kind of breaking up and kind of clinging, that like just dried, crusty under eye look that you can get if a concealer dries out on you. That's the worst. This does not do this. This does no harm. It is just absolutely a fantastic concealer. I don't know why it took me so long to try it. I wish I would have found it sooner because it is top notch. So to set that concealer, I used my powder recommendation, and my recommendation to you for the Sephora VIB sale is that if you are looking for a powder or if you have never tried this powder, get yourself the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I use the shade 1 Fair. This is the best pressed powder that I've ever used. I've seen people try to dupe this, and I understand that some things might get close, but nothing is this powder. Honestly, it is so finely milled before it is pressed, and it's super obvious because it really has this incredible blurring effect, especially especially on the under eyes. I absolutely love this to set my under eye concealer. I use a damp sponge, and you just need like a tiny, tiny bit. It doesn't dry me out. I have dry skin. I still like to use powder to set my under eyes and to just set like the center of my face. This powder is fantastic for that. Again, it just gives you this beautiful blurring effect. I tried to combine those two words. Blurtiful. That's it. It's a blurtiful powder, and you need it in your life. I honestly love this powder. I don't ever like to use anything different. Sometimes I do to switch it up because it would be boring if I use the same thing every time I did my makeup, but I really love this powder, and I don't think anything comes close to it. All right, let's talk about eyes, and you're not gonna be surprised. I am here to tell you, buy yourself some Laura Mercier caviar sticks. I'm not joking. They're amazing. They're fantastic. I will sing their praises for eternity because I love them. I love them so much. They're so easy to blend. They go on so beautifully. If you get the ones that have the shimmer, they're just super multi-dimensional and like reflective, so flattering. And the blendability is insane. You can literally blend these out with like in 2 seconds. In 2 seconds, you know, it's no sitting there doing powder eyeshadow, having to like blend and blend and blend and blend to get this good of a blend. No, it takes you like 3 seconds, you're done. And they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. They're so multi-dimensional. So today I am wearing, this has been like my favorite eye look at the moment. It's just a super neutral light eye look that goes really well with any cheek and any lip. So I put Sand Glow all over the lid and up into my crease. I also used it on my lower lash line. And then I put Intense Moonlight onto my mobile lid. It's really beautiful, light reflective, kind of champagne shade. The intense shades kind of have more of a metallic finish. So beautiful. And then I put a little bit of cocoa just on the outer top lash line to just define the lash line a little bit. And it was literally so simple, so quick, and it's so beautiful. I just look, you know, just so pulled together and fantastic. I love the Laura Mercier caviar sticks. I've talked about them so much that I'm just gonna shut up because I don't want to bore you. Brows are another thing I'm going to touch on really quickly, but I don't want to spend too much time on because these are the 2 brow products that I always recommend. It is the Dior Show Brow Styler in Blonde and the 24-Hour Brow Setter from Benefit. This is my go-to brow combo. It's what I always use. I love it. The Dior brow pencil is super fine. It gives you super fine hair strokes. They look very natural. They're really great if you're like me and you just like to kind of fill in your brows a little bit. You don't really want to change the shape. You don't, you know, want them to be too bold. You just like a natural, soft, fluffy brow. That's a really good pencil for it. And the 24-Hour Brow Setter is a really good gel because it's not crunchy. It feels really comfortable. Some clear brow gels can be so crunchy. This one is not crunchy at all, and it really does hold them in place where you put them. So if you want to kind of fluff them up a little bit to kind of get that laminated look, you can do that with this, and it will hold without the crunch. Side note, has anyone gotten their brows laminated? The place where I get my eyelashes done, they're now offering brow lamination, and I'm considering it, but I'm curious if anyone's ever got it done. Let me know down there. Let's move on to cheeks. So let's talk about Nearly Neutral from Rare Beauty. This is the Stay Vulnerable Melting Blush. These blend out like butter. They are fantastic. They give you the most beautiful natural flush. I honestly love all the shades I've tried. I own Nearly Neutral, Nearly Apricot, and Nearly Rose. Nearly Neutral is the shade that I'm wearing today, and it is such a beautiful, like it says, neutral rose shade. This is a great cheek color that can go with any eye look, any lip color. It's just a really great natural flush if you're around my skin tone. Also, if you're someone like me, you tend to be pretty neutral. This is a really great natural blush. I just love that it just looks like a soft wash of color. You can build these up. You could go over it with a powder blush to double blush if you wanted to, but honestly, for me, I just love it. I'm actually going to add a little bit more because I just feel like you can never have too much blush. I know some people would disagree with me, but this is not their channel. It's my channel. So All right, next up, let's talk about glow. Now, when trying to decide which products I wanted to recommend to you guys, I decided that I wanted to go with the products that I've been reaching for the most. The products that have been making me feel like, oh, this is what it's springy outside. Let's go with spring. And the highlight that I've been reaching for the most is actually this little quad from Dior. This is the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette. I am in love with this. I got this last fall, I think, maybe summer. I've had it for a while and I really, really liked it when I got it, but it's kind of become like my daily go-to glowy palette. It's a little bit replaced some of my Hourglass products. I love this in particular because I can take the darker pink shade in this quad and go over my blush with it. And then I can use the two lighter shades. I kind of mix them together and I go just on the very high points of my cheeks to give myself a nice glow. I love the glow that this gives. It's very radiant, very glowy, but it looks very lit from within, which again is always the descriptor I want. I use a lot of the same description words because I'm kind of always going for the same thing. I want to look radiant. I want to look like I'm glowing from within. I want to look like a person who is just naturally polished and naturally has it together. That is my goal in life. That is my aspiration. And, you know, if a makeup product helps me feel that way, that's what I want. Isn't that what makeup is about? You know, it's about how you feel. To me, that's the big thing. It's not even like how I look. It's how it makes me feel. This makes me feel radiant, polished, and like, I'm just a naturally glowing person. All right, the last product on my face is lipstick, and this is not gonna surprise anyone. I have a very big obsession with Tom Ford lip color. I absolutely love his satin lipsticks. They're amazing. They're comfortable. They're beautiful. The colors are very true. They're very true to color. Like what it looks like in the tube is what it looks like on your lips. And just by happenstance over Christmas, I discovered the shade Indian Rose and I am in love. It is such a beautiful, natural, my lips but better. My lips but rosier. My lips but just a touch pinker. It's gorgeous. I honestly am almost embarrassed at how many of these Tom Ford lip colors I own at this point. But if I was only going to recommend one to someone, if they were like, what was like the lip color you would recommend? If I could only pick one, Ashley, it would be this one, especially for this time of year and for this spring VIB sale, because this color is fantastic. This will be perfect spring all the way through spring, all the way through summer. Like this is a year-round, fantastic Your Lips But Better shade. It's just, I don't need to reapply, but I want to reapply. Then I have two more products I want to recommend. The first I don't have with me because I just ran out and I reordered in the sale. It is the Dr. Dennis Gross Peel Pads. I absolutely love these. These are a complete game changer if you have any kind of congestion or skin texture that you deal with. My skin is very easily congested right here along the nose, and that oftentimes manifests itself as like an uneven skin texture. The Dr. Dennis Gross Peel Pads have changed my life. My skin is so much smoother because of these. It's just a fantastic exfoliating product. There's two different pads in each. You get like a little packet and you use them daily. The first pad is a peel and then the second pad is a neutralizer. So you wipe the first one all over your face, wait 2 minutes, and then use the neutralizer. It honestly has improved my skin texture so much. They're expensive, which is why I would definitely recommend taking advantage of the 20% off sale. I knew I was really running it up until the last minute by waiting to order, but I wanted to wait to order them until the sale because I want that 20% off. Thankfully, I got it. I was able to, I think I literally ran out yesterday, and my first Sephora order, because yes, I'm sure I will make more than one, is arriving today. So I will not miss a day of my peel pads, which is great because I really heavily rely on them to just keep my skin decongested and keep it really smooth. I use the universal ones daily, and then once a week I use the extra strength ones. My skin takes chemical peels really well, to be honest, but it can be a little bit reactive. I've never had an issue with the regular ones or the extra strength. So unless your skin is super sensitive, I would say you can probably get away with the universal ones, but they do make a sensitive skin formula as well. I'll link all 3 of them below. Like I said. The last product I want to recommend is from another brand that is new to Sephora. It is from Oribe, which, oh my gosh, I have loved Oribe products for so long. The first time I started using Oribe products was back when I was 14, and my Nana took me to a very high-end salon to fix my hair because I dyed my hair dark at home, and my Nana didn't like it. So she was like, no, we're gonna take you somewhere to fix this. Thank goodness. And that salon used Oribe products, and the smell of Oribe products, if you have never smelled them, they have a signature scent that is just, it's luxury to me. Like it makes me feel like I'm in a high-end salon with that like salon energy of beauty and luxury and I don't know, like divine feminine energy. I love it. I love the way salons feel. My favorite product from Oribe that I would highly recommend to anyone is the Oribe Super Shine Moisturizing Cream. This is absolutely fantastic for giving your hair a beautiful shine. I struggle with shine because my hair is naturally curly. Today it's like, okay, listen, don't judge it today because I slept in braids, so it completely changed my curl pattern into like this weird wavy, lumpy kind of mess that's going on, but we're doing our best and we still have shine. Do you see that? We still have shine even though we have texture, and it's because of the Oribe Super Shine Moisturizing Cream. This is what gives my hair shine. If you're a blonde, if you have wavy curly hair, you know how hard it can be to get shine that doesn't weigh your hair down. This is shine that doesn't weigh your hair down. I absolutely love it. I will use it forever probably, and I highly recommend that you do the same. Seriously, try it out. I really think that you'll love it. It is just the best, and it does not weigh your hair down. I just want to point that out. I have very, very fine hair. It will not weigh your hair down. I promise. I'm gonna link here on the screen my favorites playlist as well as my last Sephora recommendations video. That way you have a full playlist of products that I would recommend that you can go watch if you're looking for more of my recommendations. Let me know in the comments below, what would you recommend that I pick up in the Sephora VIB sale? I would love to know your most highly recommended products. Leave me a comment, let me know. I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, you take care of yourself. Bye.